This is ecoTEC's ecoTEC Roundup show from Aotearoa's first and only climate-positive certified renewable electricity provider. We only source from wind, hydro and solar, and we are the leading supplier of electricity to EVs in Aotearoa. Switch today at ecotecity.co.nz. Welcome back to another roundup of news from the world of clean cars and green energy. Thanks for joining me. We start today's show with a little bit of a depressing one, namely the conclusion of COP28 in Dubai. Ending late, as has become the norm in recent years, COP28 did manage to do something that no COP has done before, get agreement from participant countries that it is necessary to transition away from fossil fuels in order to limit the effects of anthropogenic climate change. But given that the conference started with COP28's president stating that phasing out fossil fuels would lead us, quote, back into caves, end quote, it's highly unlikely that anything agreed at COP28 will lead to meaningful change because, well, for the most part, it's not legally binding by most countries taking part. We've recorded both a high-level view of the agreement that's due to drop on Monday, and we're also planning a more in-depth video very soon. The next biggest story of the week came from Tesla, which issued an official recall of more than 2 million Teslas via an over-the-air software update. Tesla's recall came after NHTSA concluded a 2-year investigation into the operation of Tesla's Level 2 Autopilot system, an investigation prompted by 11 documented crashes between Teslas operating in autopilot mode and parked emergency vehicles on the highway. Essentially, the investigation determined Tesla wasn't doing enough to make sure drivers were remaining attentive behind the wheel, and the new update being pushed includes changing the criteria for Tesla's so-called autopilot nag, as well as a lockout that will prevent people from using autopilot if they abuse it and ignore the warnings. Frankly, I think this is a good update from Tesla's point of view, and I don't think this is a bad thing, especially given that Tesla is also currently embroiled in a fight with the California DMV over the use of the term full self-driving. More attentive drivers is a very good outcome, and while some will argue that this wasn't a recall, it is worth noting that officially it is, because it was determined that Tesla was in violation of federal safety standards. Tesla is just fixing this problem via an over-the-air update, even though it has vehemently disagreed with the outcome of the NHTSA investigation. So please don't shoot the messenger. It was way back in September when Hyundai first published details of the 2024 Kona EV for the US market, which included some specs and pricing details. This week, however, we got an important update to that information, namely that, for the first time in US markets, there will be 2 different battery pack options offered for the Kona EV. The entry-level Kona Electric SE with a 99 kilowatt motor and 48.6 kilowatt-hour battery pack will start at $32,675 before mandatory fees, while the higher spec SEL and limited variants will come with 150 kilowatt motors and 64.8 kilowatt-hour battery packs. No cars are currently eligible for federal tax incentives. The new entry-level model is cheaper by a tiny bit, but its range is reduced compared to last year's model. Porsche has officially begun ramping up buzz around its upcoming Macan EV this week after it invited journalists to a technical workshop event at its Leipzig production facility. During the event, Porsche detailed that the Macan EV, the first Porsche to be based on the new PPE platform jointly developed by Porsche and Audi, will feature a 100 kilowatt-hour battery pack at 800-volt system architecture. But because the new battery pack features a brand new chemistry for the company, it's actually lighter than the smaller capacity 93 kilowatt-hour pack used in the Porsche Taycan. To showcase the vehicle's prowess, Porsche offered attendees a series of ride-alongs, including time on the track and off-road, and based on the various write-ups online, we should all be looking forward to the car's official launch. It's been 2 weeks since Tesla began deliveries of Cybertruck, and we're still learning new things about it. This week was no exception. Midweek, we learned that Tesla has added a wade mode to Cybertruck that actively pressurizes the battery pack to prevent water ingress when wading through deep water. At the same time, we learned, thanks to Tesla publishing its parts catalogue, that the replacement cost for the massive Cybertruck windscreen will be a cool $1,900, nearly 4 times the price of most pickup truck windscreens. Then, later this week, we learned Tesla has re-implemented its legal threat of court action to any owner who sells Cybertruck before 1 year of ownership has passed, and Tesla is now asking reservation holders for a $1,000 totally refundable early access deposit in order to confirm their vehicle orders for production. Citroën revealed its all-new Ë-Berlingo this week, confirming that it will go on sale in early 2024. Designed for the European market, the new Ë-Berlingo is fitted with a larger 54 kilowatt-hour LFP battery pack, which not only gives the vehicle a larger 198-mile, 317-kilometre range, but should lead to a lower overall build cost and longer lifespan for the battery pack. There's an onboard 7.4 kilowatt charger as standard, an optional 3-phase onboard charger, and DC fast charging capabilities at 100 kilowatts. Pricing has yet to be released, but there is a 7-seat version promised, and I should also note that Opel/Vauxhal also unveiled its Combo Electric, which is basically a rebadged Ë-Berlingo, this week. Despite setting a new sales record last month for the F150 Lightning and announcing 2 new variants earlier this year, Ford has slashed its production goals for the vehicle. According to reporting from Automotive News, Ford has written to suppliers to tell them to expect an average volume of 1,600 F150 Lightnings per week to be made at its Dearborn, Michigan production facility. That is 1/2 of the 3,200 trucks per week that Ford had previously told the media it was targeting for next year. But as Green Car Reports noted this week, while Ford says the reason is changing market demand, the change may instead be caused by the high sticker price of Ford's all-electric pickup. Given that the entry-level model is now more than $52,000, it's hardly affordable. Nissan has confirmed that its heavily automated intelligent factory line at its Toshiki plant, Japan, is now running at full speed, meaning that it can finally ramp up Nissan Ariya SUV production. While it was first unveiled in 2020, COVID-19 delayed the launch of the vehicle by a full year, and Nissan's new production line has taken its sweet time to iron out any kinks. But according to Nissan's plant manager responsible for the production line, there's now more capacity available to produce more Nissan Ariyas. Nissan says the facility has helped it dramatically reduce the costs associated with EV production, and along with winning a Top Safety Pick Plus award this week from the Insurance Institute for Highway Safety, things are finally looking up for the Ariya. A complaint has been filed with the US Federal Trade Commission against Toyota, alleging that it's misled customers about its electrification efforts and hybrid vehicle technology. The complaint, written by non-profit Public Citizen, says that Toyota has misled customers by exaggerating the capabilities of electrification of its current vehicle lineup. That's in its ad campaigns. It also maintains that the automaker needs to be clearer about the differences between hybrid, plug-in hybrid, pure electric and hydrogen fuel cell vehicles. One ad quoted by the group cites a lightning bolt hitting a Toyota Prius near its gasoline filler cap, which it argues could confuse people into thinking the Prius is all electric. Toyota has long discouraged people from going electric, and in a response to this allegation says, quote, "It offers more low and zero-emission vehicles combined than any other automaker," end quote. The news media has been full of people complaining recently that EVs aren't selling and using large numbers of EVs sitting on dealer lots as evidence of that. And frankly, we've debunked that story many times on this channel. This week, though, we got 2 very important pieces of information that shows demand is most certainly not waning. In October, more than 100,000 electric vehicles were registered in the US for the very first time, and as IC Cars detailed at the end of this week, the market share of non-Tesla EVs has grown by more than 8 100% in the last 3 years, with non-Tesla new car dealerships that sell EVs growing from 16.5% in 2020 to 55.1% this year. Idaho, Montana, West Virginia, Oklahoma, Arkansas, South Carolina, Mississippi, Louisiana, Kansas, and Minnesota, none of which are known for being pro-EV. Before we get to the last two stories, I have a quick question. Are you in the market for a new EV? Because if you are, and you live in Aotearoa, you should totally check out our very own buyer's guide at ecotricity.co.nz. It is packed with all the information you need to pick a car that's right for you and includes plenty of details about incentives you can get, charging providers you can charge up with, and of course how to get charging at home. Follow the link below and start your own journey today. If you've watched this show much over the last few months, you'll know that it's been a little bit of a time for Cruise Automotive, General Motors' self-driving arm. Not only did Cruise's vehicles get into more accidents and sticky situations, causing the state of California to revoke its autonomous vehicle permits, but inside reporting has alleged that the company had a corporate structure that, while aware of serious safety flaws, continued to operate anyway. Now, parent company GM has officially fired 9 of Cruise's high-level executives and likely faces fines of up to $1.5 million arising from the various accidents and collisions that took place this year. Since Cruise has been hemorrhaging cash in recent years, GM now appears to be gripping the corporate reins a little bit tighter. And finally, after all the doom and gloom in today's show, and there's been plenty, let's look at something a little lighter: EV conversions. We've long maintained that converting internal combustion engine vehicles from fossil fuels to electric is a smart move, as long as it can be done in a cost-effective manner, which frankly only some DIY projects manage to achieve. But a company in Germany says it's cracked the matter of EV conversions and price, announcing a drop-in kit that it says can retrofit 42 different cars on sale today with an all-electric drivetrain in as little as 8 hours. Enter e-Revolt, which says its drop-in technology can offer up to 250 kilometres, 155 miles of range per charge post-conversion. The cost? Somewhere between 21 and 26,000 Kiwi dollars equivalent, which is far less than most commercial conversion options out there. Count us impressed, and we'd love to try one out. Before I go though, do make sure you've hit the notification bell so you don't miss out on the latest in EV news from this channel. And of course, if you haven't already switched, it's time to switch to Aotearoa's first and only climate-positive certified renewable electricity provider. It's super easy to make the switch, and you'll be helping the nation wean itself off dirty energy and onto clean, green power that will keep the land beautiful. I'll be back next week as usual for the last live show of the year, and in the meantime, don't forget to check out the latest videos from Gavin, Kiwi EV Shoebridge, on this very channel. He's been a big kid this week and has gone for a ride on a Tesla Cyberquad. He made it. Enjoy the rest of your day. I'm Nikki Gordon-Bloomfield. Ka kite! See you next time.